Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
Faraday presenta Ojos con Alergia y Picazón contra el Jardinero. Y el ganador es Faraday Extra Fuerte. Para aliviar la picazón de los ojos por alergia, actúa más rápido y supera a Claritin y Flonase aún a las 24 horas. Faraday, adelante.
And we're back with Canva Presents Secret Sounds Work Edition. Caller, guess this sound.
It's a mouse click.
So close. That's actually publishing a website with Canva Docs. Next caller.
Definitely a mouse click.
Nice try. It was sorting 100 sticky notes with a Canva whiteboard. We also would have accepted resizing a Canva video into 10 different sizes.
What? No way.
Yes way. One click can go a long way. Love your work at canva.com.
Welcome to another Finely Edged production for the Premier League Cricket Club. Connecting players and coaches, clubs and leagues, volunteers and supporters alike, you're in the right place for the best of the 33 ECB Premier Leagues and the 20 NCCA counties, bringing you the stories, the stats and the standout performances that make this game great. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to both our Premier League and NCCA shows so you don't miss any episodes. Now, shall we get stuck in? So welcome everybody to the National Counties Cricket Show, and it's our first opportunity this season to talk about one of the upcoming weekend's fixtures and the fact that we're now back with the trophy. So for those of you who don't know, the 50 over trophy has been brought forward ahead of the T20s this year, and so we're really pleased to have joining us today, he won't like me using this word, but one of the heroes from last year's final, but more importantly, one of the winners from last year. Got Ben Wilcox from Norfolk. How are we doing, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Cheers for having me on.
Yeah, all good. And it's nice to be thinking that we're only 6 days away as we record this from actually getting back out there, representing the county in a competitive match.
Yeah, it feels a bit strange. It's come around quite quickly, actually. Well, it wasn't, what was it, late August, we were in Wormsley, and yeah, 6 months goes quite quickly, to be fair. But no, I know the Norfolk boys are looking forward to get back into it.
Looking back on last year, you started the season off with, let's just say, a comprehensive win against Herefordshire, bowling them all out for 157, 9-wicket win. You then went on to play against Shropshire, again, 9-wicket win.
Yeah.
Starting to see a bit of a theme going on there. In the final group game, though, you did play your arch rivals as such against Suffolk and suffered one defeat, but it was 300 plus for each team. Some massive runs being scored around Suffolk and Norfolk there, wasn't there?
Yeah, like I said, I think that was at Sudbury. Short straights there. I think they won the toss and they piled it on, really.
Yeah.
And then 20 runs short at the end. But yeah, just needed someone to bat the whole way through in that day. But yeah, no, they played really well.
But we definitely got a bit of a taste of things to come during the group stages. Yourself and Sam Arthurton started to pile runs on for the group. You must, by the looks of what we're looking at the scorecards, you must love just batting with Sam.
Yeah, well, when you bat with him, there's no real pressure because you're always on top of the run rate. Like, he scores at a boundary and over at least. He's really quick between the wickets as well, which I quite like. So we do still runs in the ring. We probably take too many risks when running, but yeah, he just takes all the pressure off me when I bat, and that's what I want.
Absolutely. Obviously, all that fitness training that he does through the winter makes a big difference when it comes round to the season. And I'm sure coming up to this weekend, you two are the two highest run scorers in the trophy last year. And obviously that continued all the way through to the final. Again, just to get back out in the middle with him for Norfolk must be a great thing for you.
Yeah, we back well together. I'd like to think we back well together. We probably had a one-off year. He's been very consistent, but we had obviously a very good year, and they're not always going to be like that. So when you do get into bat with him and you're going well, you've got to make the most of it. And I think we did that last year.
definitely. And who else amongst the batting group, the NCCA, was there anyone else who stood out for you last year in particular? Thought that there's some runs coming from there?
What, in our side or in any
Anywhere.
side?
Anywhere.
Anywhere. Well, I think it's George Hargrave from Shropshire.
Yeah.
Is it Hargrave? Yeah. He hit 150 against us in that Shropshire game. He looked really good. Like, I didn't know how we were going to get him out. Being a left-hander as well, it's just so awkward to bowl at. Who else?
Sam Perry was third in the runs for the trophy.
Sam Perry, yeah.
Was fourth.
The two openers from for Cheshire in the final looked really dangerous as well. I think he's one of them, isn't it? Sam Perry.
Sam Perry and Robert Semi.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. No, they both look like organised batsmen. Hit the ball really hard. Yeah. They're probably three players. And then who else hit 100 against us? The lad from Suffolk, who backed three, hit 130 at Sudbury, and he looked dangerous as well. So no, there's lots of good batsmen in there in the NCCA.
Yeah, that would be batted at three for Suffolk on that day was Darren Ironside. Of course, it was 128 of 120 balls.
Yeah,
and he did end up in that top echelons of the run scorers. He was fifth. Rhys Lewis was fourth. He's now moved on from Berkshire, though, to Wales National County, which will be a change for him. George Hargrave, sixth. And Johnny Connell, I'll say low down, seventh. But, he scored 242 runs. What's remarkable about your season, though, in the trophy, Ben, was you scored 395 runs at an average of 197.5. I mean, come on. Is that one of those seasons that you think, if I could ever repeat close to that?
Yeah, no, probably not. So I don't think it will happen again. Not with the average like that. But as we mentioned earlier, it's just I didn't really have any pressure on me to score runs. I was sort of just knocking it around ones and twos and letting Sammy hit it all over the park, really.
Well, he didn't end up with much different. 107 average for the season, which ain't bad going in the trophy.
No, take that.
Once you guys got out of the group, and obviously we get into the serious business of the quarter-final last year, you had a relatively easy day out against Lincolnshire. You bowled them all out for 183, scored 186 for four after 34 overs. In the semi-finals, you guys bowled Cambridgeshire all out for 258, having scored 317. It was all pretty much straightforward stuff before you got to Wormsley in the final against Cheshire. What's your overriding memories of that day?
I remember actually being quite nervous. I don't normally get too nervous about cricket, but I just thought we didn't have the expectation to get to the final.
Right.
We rocked up. We were there, and I just really didn't want to lose it at that point. So nervous, but pretty confident that if we played like we did in the quarter and the semi. I know the scoreline suggests they were quite dominant in the quarters and the semis, but we definitely had the best of the conditions against Lincolnshire. We won the toss and took 3-4 wickets in the first 12, 15 overs. And Cambridgeshire, we just went well with the bat, but I felt that they were going to be the side that might knock us out at that stage. So going back to the final, just relatively confident, but we didn't really know a great deal about Cheshire either. I didn't know a great deal of their players. I think we were just going to stick with how we were playing our cricket, and hopefully that would be enough on the day.
Yeah, and I think you already pointed out the openers did well for Cheshire on the day. Robert Semi and Sam Perry, they got them off to a decent start. I think you did very well getting Kevin Carroll out early doors. He was one of the big hitters in the T20 last year and was extremely dangerous. Nick Anderson, experienced campaigner for Cheshire, got him out quite early. Yeah, but batting down at 6 or 7 for them was the captain, Harry Dearden.
Yeah.
And the qualities that he brings, he managed to only score 40 off 49 balls. Maybe if he'd have been further up the order, they might have got a few more. But at 257 for 8 wickets after 50 overs, you guys must have started your innings thinking we've got not a better than average chance on this one.
Yeah, but then I think Harry Dearden was batting at 7, like you said. Yeah. We had them 6 or 7 down for about 200. Mm-hmm. And then he came in and batted. He smacked it everywhere and hit it really hard. I think he probably took the momentum into the second innings really off because they sort of recovered quite nicely.
Yeah.
So no, the momentum with them was probably with them going into the second half, but we knew we could chase that down. But it's you say that, but it's the pressure, isn't it? It's the pressure of the final. It ends up feeling like a lot more when you're out there in the middle. You just think how we actually going to chase this down.
Mm-hmm. And I think you're right. That momentum that they took into the innings for them to bowl started off. It couldn't have gone any better for Cheshire, could it? Getting Sam early doors. You guys were 1 for 1 after 1 over. The top scorer's gone. Cheshire's, their backs are up. They're up straight away. But then Ethan Metcalf and yourself started to just get things ticking over, built up a bit of a partnership. But it wasn't until you were 99 for 4 after 21 overs, so still another 160-ish to score in the last 30. When Charlie Hood came in, you and him just had fun, I think is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, we just similar to batting with Sam, really. He just knocked it around, ran hard, and then sort of slowly saw the Cheshire boys' heads drop, and then we just capitalised on anything that came. And then I just knew the longer we batted together, the higher probability we were going to win that game. So I was just pretty dead set. I was planning not to get out and not do anything stupid, which is quite tough as a batsman sometimes.
And I think the irony is that both yourself and Charlie, you both had strike rates in excess of 100 during that innings. Yours during the season was around about 85, 90, but you were able to actually keep accelerating to a certain extent. And by the time you finished the game off, almost 6 overs to spare, it felt relatively comfortable, didn't it?
Yeah, but that was only very late in that innings that I felt it was going to be comfortable. Like it was quite nip and tuck with about 15 overs to go, and then I think we had 2 or 3 big overs, and then you kind of get an inkling that we should be able to do it from here. Just don't leave it to anybody else.
Absolutely. You don't want to lose a wicket or 2 towards the end and all of a sudden there's a bit of a panic sets in. And you guys did everything right there, didn't you? You took it all the way to the very end and comfortable win. Great for Norfolk, who to a lot of people are regarded as one of the smaller national counties to win the trophy. But now it all starts again with the defence starting on Sunday.
Yeah, probably one of the smaller counties, probably not regarded as one of the majorly successful minor county sides, but and we played pretty poor cricket prior to last year. Just had a change of probably selection and the way it's being run. Brought a lot of youth into the side. Sam's obviously a good leader and leads by example, which plays a big part as well. And we had a really, really successful season. It's probably surprised quite a few people, I should think.
Absolutely. Going into this season now, what sort of changes are there going to be in that squad? Is there going to be many?
No, I don't think so. It's pretty much going to be the same. The 2 Everett boys came in midway sort of last year or early midway last year. Freddie Farey would probably be the only change, I should think. He ran into Josh Cobb during the T20s and injured himself, and then I think struggled to sort of get back into the starting side, but he batted on Sunday at London Schools and looked really good, so he could be in. But no, nothing, not a great deal change. A lot of changes really.
And it's nice to start the trophy off with a derby game. Effectively, it's the Suffolk Norfolk big one over at Fakenham.
Yeah, I should think it'll be one of the toughest ones in our pool. That or Staffordshire will be the 2 toughest, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I should think it'll be quite a competitive game on Sunday.
And who from the opposition within your pool itself, is there anyone in particular that you look out for players wise?
Nobody in particular. Not really.
Kets will love you saying that, obviously.
Yeah, well, he's one. He's quite quality. He is quality. Yeah.
Yeah. Bowlers wise in your group, anyone in particular that stood out last year?
I'm just trying to think. I always think the Suffolk bowling attack's very good. They've got Cantrell that bowls off spin, doesn't bowl much rubbish at all. Jack Beaumont's the other one, turning it the other way. bowls stump to stump, and then Tom Harper as well. So they've got 3 quality spinners there.
Yeah.
They're an organised bowling attack.
And from obviously your experience recently with the Challengers as well, you'll have the likes of Rory Hayden running from Staffordshire.
No, I haven't done too much. I haven't done any training with him yet, but no, he's definitely a threatening bowler. Bowls at a good pace.
And I'm looking at the other bowlers from last season who stood out. Joe Everett was number 2. Tommy Sturgis was number 1 in the wicket taking in the trophy. Stephen Green from Cheshire. Andy Rishton just seems to go on and on at Berkshire, obviously. And I think Cameron Gravelin, he picked up some wickets there, didn't he?
Yeah, he's quite similar to the Suffolk spinners that he bowls stump to stump. Bowls quite flat and quick, and hits people on the pad and bowls people. So he's always quite threatening. Yeah,
and I think what's interesting, of course, is when we look at the bowlers from the National Trophy last year. The top boys who got there, Joe Everett for you guys, Cameron Gravelin. You had 2 of the top 10 in terms of the bowlers, but you had the 2 top batters. Do you think in NCCA cricket that's the key to it? It's not just about the superstars; it's about that literally depth.
Definitely. Look at our side; we've got 4, 5 like quality seamers. We've got Joe and Callum Metcalf that will bowl first change each, first and second change. And Joe's the type of guy you can throw the ball and you know what he's going to do. He's going to hit a spot and swing the ball even after 10 overs or 15 overs of use. So he's a real threat.
So you got Brett and Andy who've been leading that attack, haven't they? Are the 2 better players, 2 long-term better bowlers in the East Anglian Premier League?
Yeah, they've played for years at Witchingham. Andy, well, they're both at Witchingham, and then Andy's gone to Copdock, and Brett's joined Downham Stow, my home club, this year. So we're very happy to have him at the club. He's definitely a point of difference for us.
And I've got to ask about the Wilcoxes.
No, we all play at Downham Stow. My older brother opens the batting as left-hander. He didn't go too well on his debut, but in the EPL, but neither did I. And then my little brother, he's played a fair bit for Norfolk in the minor counties. Probably not nailed in the side, but he bats and bowls, so he puts a good account for himself. And he got 123 on Saturday for Downham Stow, and we were 90 for 7.
What's in the water in the Wilcox household?
I don't think there's anything that special in it. No.
I mean, myself and Hugh, we've been talking about it over the weekend when we saw what Arthur had done. To have 3 from, 1 from a household's great, 2 is brilliant. To have 3 at that level, I don't know if there's another club with 3 brothers in a Premier League full stop, and all knocking on the door for Norfolk.
Yeah, well, we're all in and around it. Yeah, well, it's our home club. It's about 5 minutes away from home where I am here. So we all went down when we were about 5 or 6 years old, and just played cricket since. So and in the garden as well. We'd go training and come back and play cricket against each other. So
and carry on. And do you think Arthur can push on this year in the NCCA side?
Yeah, I think he can do a really, really good job batting 6-7. He's not. I mean, most guys that come in at 6 or 7, they're pinch hitters or go out a run a ball or whatever. But he's probably hit 15, 16. He's hit multiple double hundreds before. I mean, it's at school cricket as well. It's a bit different, but he can certainly construct an innings, is what I'm saying. He's not just a ball striker. So no, he could definitely do a good job for Norfolk this year.
And that's one of the keys for the trophy bit end of the game as well, as because the 50 overs, you do have that little bit of time to build up. It's not like the T20 where you've almost got to go from ball 1. He will get that opportunity in the 50 over if he has to come in.
I should think so. Yeah. No, that would suit him better. I think the 50 over stuff, but he can also do that other job, the other role. Come in from ball 1 and strike the ball cleanly, whereas I probably don't have that skill like he does.
You can say that it's your brother. We're not going to comment on that. No. How exciting is it for you as a household, as a club at Downham Stow, and for Norfolk, just to get the NCCA season up and running again? Because as you say, it's been a long old winter. You had what's getting on for 8 months almost since the last games that you played. How
Yeah.
exciting is it just as a county to get things going again?
Yeah, I mean, I love playing 50 over cricket. I love playing for Norfolk, especially after the year we just had. So I'm very keen to get back up and running and hopefully with a win on Sunday against Suffolk. Yeah.
And obviously, being the holders, there's a little bit of a target on the head there that you guys are going to have on, but you must fancy yourselves still again.
Yeah, it would definitely put us in the running for it. It's not like we've lost 3 or 4 players or people are retired or whatever, or doing something different. We've got the same squad we had last year, and the younger lads are just a year older and hopefully a year more experienced. So, no, we'd definitely like to think we can give it a good shot.
Definitely. Have a quick look around the rest of the NCCA, and you've been around a lot of the players at the Challengers training recently in particular. Is there anyone there that you thought, they're an interesting one to come up against batters or bowlers?
We don't play against the likes of Berkshire, Buckinghamshire, Oxfordshire a lot, where quite a few of those boys play their cricket because they're just obviously not on our circuit. But no, they've obviously had a lot of success over the years, haven't they? Berkshire and Buckinghamshire and Oxfordshire, I think, as well. So, no, I think they'll be good contenders for it. But then the likes of Norfolk and I think Suffolk are pretty competitive as well. So.
And did any of the Challengers bowlers in particular stand out when you were in the nets with them a couple of weeks ago?
Oh God, I've gone blank with names. My memory's awful.
Connor Haddow, George, Alex Russell.
Yeah, there's another. Is it Alex Neil?
Alex Neil, he's off
Hertfordshire, I think it is. Yeah. He looks like a really nice bowler, and he got 140 against us in the Red Bull cricket. He's a proper batsman as well.
Yeah, and how excited are you yourself to be involved in that Challengers squad and get to that training and start playing around some of those games?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I'll take every opportunity that comes. Whether I'll get into the side is another question because there's so many quality players there. But yeah, the quality of training the other week was really good. There's a lot of things you just watch and listen. I think for me it's quite important. I'm obviously very young still, but watching and listening about how people do things differently and like they were talking about death bowling and how to strike the ball cleanly at the death, which I've struggled with. I'd be more like a touch player, and how you can use your wrists and your footwork and your body height. So yeah, no, there's loads of things I can pick up on. So no, it's exciting.
And take them back to Norfolk and hopefully get yourselves on a good run all the way through to the 50 over final again.
Yeah, that'll be the plan.
Be a little bit more of a drive this time though, not at Wormsley. It's going to be at Chester Boughton Hall if you get to the final. I don't know if you've played at Chester Boughton Hall before. It's a wicket renowned for runs.
Is it? I have no idea where that is. Should I know where that is? Cheshire, right?
Yeah, Cheshire. Yeah. And for those who are listening, last weekend there was over 660 runs in one game there in 100 overs. So there's definitely runs, and it's made for 50 over cricket to say the least. Definitely.
Yeah. No,
I don't know. Hey, look forward to seeing how you go this weekend. I'll be keeping an eye out on Downham, Stow on the Saturday, but also keep an eye out on Norfolk and everyone else on the Sunday. And for those who are listening, you can look on the NCCA website. You'll see all the games and where all the fixtures are at. There's going to be plenty of cricket going on over the next few weeks. We know you've got your Premier League cricket guys on a Saturday, but let's get supporting these guys across the NCCA on a Sunday as well. The quality, as Ben's already said, is actually quite phenomenal. It's as close to first class cricket as you're going to go without having to pay the way you have to pay at first class cricket, is what I always like to say. Because 9 times out of 10, it's free to go to watch a lot of these guys, and you can get to see really good cricket. If you can't get to a ground, you can watch it on NCCA's own match centre or across the web. There'll be all kinds of social media going out there from the guys. Look forward to seeing how you go this weekend, Ben.
Thank you very much.
All the best, mate.
Thanks for that.
Thanks for joining us at the Premier League Cricket Club. We'll be back soon with more from the world of Premier League and NCCA cricket. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review and follow us wherever you get your socials. Or maybe check out our website, premierleaguecricket.co.uk, to stay updated. Until next time, have a good one.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hey, Kristen, how's it tracking?
With Carvana Value Tracker.
What else?
Oh, it's tracking. In fact, Value Surge Alert trucks up 2.5%. Vans down 1.7%.
Just as predicted.
Mm-hmm.
So, we gonna...
I don't know. Could sell, could hold.
The power to always know our car's worth.
Exhilarating, isn't it?
Tracking.
Always know your car's worth with Carvana Value Tracker.